On a snowy day in March, a long, long ways from Nicaragua or Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where I spent the last 10 days, we're at Seton Catholic again with Sister Debbie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
The mission of hope is back. And boy, have we caught up with the modern age of technology. We have pictures. We have a lot of pictures to show you of what happened in Nicaragua this time around. And it was overall every experience is different, isn't it? Every time I talk to you, it's different.
Every experience is unique. Every group is unique. And I've come to realize that there's a mission within the mission. That there's a focus within each group of people about why we're there, why are we there together, and what it's all about. But I do have to say that I would be hard to top this group. This was just an unbelievable group of 63 people, adults and students, and students from 10 different high schools, 4 colleges. It was just unbelievable experience all the way down the line. It was great.
There was a commercial that said, "We've come a long ways, baby." And, we were, thank goodness you've shared this experience with Calvin and myself since the very beginning, the very first Mission of Hope experience. To compare that first trip in preparation for it with this last trip in preparation for that, and then the experience of debriefing as we sit around and talk about it. Yeah, it's different, but I have to tell you, I got in, this is a snowy day, as I said before, and I told Calvin to be very careful driving down from Champlain, so I got here before he did, and that's a first all by itself. I was about 10 minutes late going around the block last time, but when I walked in this room, I could see an energy. The last time I came to talk to these kids before they went, there was kind of a reticence, a trepidation. What is this guy going to ask me about? Anxiety. Now that they're back, there's excitement. I won't say that you're all full of it, but you're all full of something called, excitement.
Well, I think this particular group of young people, not only did they have the opportunity to share a lot of hope and joy with each other and with the people of Nicaragua, but they also themselves were given a great deal of hope and a great deal of affirmation and love. And I think that's life-giving. That's part of the goal of why I believe in taking young people, because they can establish relationships and they can begin to change their own hearts and how they look at people and how they look at the world and how they look at their own lives and how lucky and how blessed they are. So it's a great group of kids. I'd take them again in a minute, no doubt about it.
We're going to talk to as many kids as will talk to us, and if we haven't shown all the pictures and talked to all the kids, we'll come back again. We've done series of programs with a number of people. We just recorded program number 12 with our friend Ron Venn at 72 Bailey Avenue the other day, and we're not adverse to coming back so that we can see what we can see in the future.
Good.
Jet, we're going to pause and talk to all the people around here and look at a whole bunch of pictures, but before we do, I want you to just throw out an observation or two about what made this trip unique.
I think this trip was unique in several different respects. First of all, it was the 8th mission within 5 years. So it was, in a sense, it was an anniversary mission. But it was also a mission that challenged us to know that we can't sit on our laurels, so to speak, that there are pieces that we still have to address and take care of. For example, our experiences at the dump have called us forth to really say, we are aware of that reality. Now we need to do something about it. That's one piece that made this unique. I think the other piece that made this unique was the reality that there were experiences of desperation on the part of our own people. And those experiences of desperation were also moments where we were given hope by the very people we went to help.
Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely amazing. And I think I need to say, for me, the most astounding piece of this mission was the absolute faith. Spirituality is probably even a better response. Spirituality of the group, but also how the spirituality of the group each night. We had the most beautiful sharing opportunities every night from 7 o'clock until whenever it ended. And I think the group grew closer as a result of that. I think we grew deeper in terms of our own inner reflections. But ultimately, it was that closeness as a group that also saved us. during the course of that week.
Isn't that amazing? You know, these missions of hope have redefined some of the terms that we thought we knew how to define in the beginning. And the word spirituality itself, I have found, from my own personal experience, the definition has changed and widened and altered and metamorphed over the years till I have a different definition of spirituality now than I did when I was 15 or 16 years old. And at various times in life, all of us have an epiphany or two. That is an experience that is so overwhelming that it changes us forever. And I found in interviewing how many, 100 of these kids down through the last
easily,
5 years,
yeah.
easily, that for many of them it was a life-changing experience. For one way or another, sometimes for different reasons, and sometimes for exactly the same reason. So that's why we keep coming back to talk to you, just to see what it was
And it's
like.
also important to say that it's not only life-changing for the youngsters. I hope that I'm a different person. I know inside I am than I was 5 years ago when I began this. And I know that my spirituality has a much more global vision now, and it also has a much deeper sensitivity to those disadvantaged in our world. And it's also a spirituality that challenges me to see the sacred in all things and all people. One of the unique things about this mission was we had actually 5 different faiths involved. We had Jewish, several denominations of Protestant and Roman Catholic. And as well as that, we had 10 different high schools involved, as I mentioned, the different colleges, and all different walks of life. And as you pull that together and you do it with a common mission, a common goal, people just grow and blossom. And I think that's what's happened to a lot of these young people.
All right, time for everybody to grow and blossom. Don't forget, as we go around the room, we're going to pause for just a moment and start a series of interviews, show a whole bunch of pictures, and I think the next hour and a half will be well spent for every single one of you. Stay tuned.